All right, you guys. Hello, happy Sunday. So we are so excited to do this question answer Zoom with you all. And how it's going to work is we're just going to ask the questions that you guys have all commented in our group. And if any of you guys have any questions that you didn't get a chance to ask or that you're thinking while we're doing this Zoom, then just write it in the little comment in the little chat down below. Just write your question and then we'll get to you. So does anybody have questions before we get started? All right, well, we have a lot of information to cover, a lot of questions, which were such amazing questions. So we'll go ahead and dive in so we don't keep this Zoom too long. And you guys all know I'm Amanda Busher. So I'm just gonna ask the questions and then we're all just gonna dive in and kind of give you our different ways of working the business or how we would kind of, answer these questions. So for all the triple leaders, just whoever wants to go, just unmute your little microphone and then you can answer the questions. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in order. And okay, so the first question is, what is each of your daily tasks? My biggest struggle is finding income producing activities.
I can go, I guess.
Okay.
I absolutely swear by, is it my end? God, that's so weird.
Huh.
I absolutely swear by my 6 list daily. So I will not be productive at all if I don't have my 6 list written out for me. So what I do is basically before I go to bed at night, I write out a 6 list. It's basically 6 income producing activities that's going to build my business. So take a step back from that and think, well, what is my goal? What am I really trying to do this month? Well, let's just say, for example, you're working towards your steps to success and you've already got your 4 customers. Well, clearly you're going to be focusing on distributors. So those tasks that you're going to be writing down are more likely going to be focusing on the distributor side and meeting with potential distributors, calling potential distributors, messaging people about it, doing a party online with some people on your team that's targeted towards the business side of things. So for me, it's all about that 6 list. And I wake up that morning and it's like go time. Like I've got 6 things that I know that I absolutely have to do that day. And I will not go to bed until those 6 items are done. So that's something that I absolutely swear by. And if I don't, say like I get stuck with my kid and he's sick in bed and for some reason I wasn't able to do my 6 list that night, I literally am thrown off my entire next day because of it. So that's for me, that would work for me.
Yeah, I'm huge on 6 lists also. What are some of the 6 things that you do every day?
Honestly, it's different.
Okay.
It's so different every day. Like today it was like I had a meeting with a girl and she brought her sister over. So it was like touch base with her and then try to get her sister wrapped too. So that was, one goal. A second thing was I was going to put a challenge out for my team page, challenge. Another thing is to distributors. So every day is going to be different. And I will say, when I'm really pushing for a promotion, I do 2 6 lists a day. And here's what I do. 1 6 list is the same thing every single day. It's going to be things like wishing people happy birthday, green light messaging, hitting up your hit list is what I like to call it. It's people that I'm like, you're on my hit list, like you will sign up on my team this month. Mm-hmm. It's engaging in their posts. So those are things that I'm literally doing every single day. And then I have a separate 6 list that is going to be built upon itself. Every day is going to be different depending on what my goals are, depending on what I finished the day before, depending on what I need, whether it be customers, distributors, or team stuff or whatever it may be. Another thing I had to do today was I had to touch base with all the distributors that I just signed up to let them know, hey, you only got a couple of days left to get these 4 customers. Let's get this done. So when I really am pushing for promotion, I do actually do 2 6 lists in there. One's the same every day. One's different based on day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Did anybody else have anything they want to add?
Well, I would say in addition to the 2 6 lists, And the one that is consistent every single day is because I just learned this from you guys and through this group and from picking that letter of the day through Facebook. And, I'm learning a lot from you guys because of social media, because you guys are awesome gurus in that. So I enjoy learning from that. So that's definitely something to add by going through that, making those new connections. But then one thing that I wasn't good at and that I'm better at is checking your card declines daily, because that's huge by adding up just that extra volume. So that's something definitely to be consistent with. Check your whole downlines, credit card decline. That's something really quick and simple that you can do. And then, like Tina talked about now, is messaging those people with their perk points, because that's already adding so much volume to our team. It's been crazy. So that was an incredible tip, Tina, because it was never really in the front of my mind. So now it definitely is every single day.
Yeah, that's awesome. I agree with both, like, those things. I think that those, like, the perk points, the declines, all that kind of stuff, like, those are the things that we kind of forget about almost, I'm the same way. There's 4 things that I didn't make a 6 list just like Danielle does, but there's 4 things that I absolutely do every single day. And then I just add on to, like, what I need to do to that. So the first thing I do, regardless of, anything, we always post. So that's one of the things. The second thing I always do is I add to my network every single day on social media, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. I'm constantly adding people to my network. The third thing I do is I build relationships on social media. So just like Danielle said, wish them happy birthdays. I literally will go through, maybe spend 10 minutes and just comment and like on their post. And so I like to build the relationships. And then the fourth thing I do every day is I communicate with people. So I reach out to people, whether it's through Facebook Messenger, whether it's through text, or whether it's through blitzing, or whatever it is. I make sure that I'm communicating with people. So those are the 4 things I absolutely do every day. And then, like what Megan said, Danielle said, parties, it could be doing declines, doing perk points, just there's all kinds of different blitzing, all kinds of different income producing activities. Oh, sorry, the 4th thing I do is personal development. So I know that's not technically an income producing activity, but it almost is, because it gets your mind right. So those are the things I do every day. But and then of course your days are going to kind of change from here to here, but those are the like the main things. Does anybody want to add to this, or do you want to, should we go?
I have one thing to add. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, go for it.
I add taking my products. It's kind of like it's a very easy thing to forget. It's no different than, sometimes we get out of the realm of checking a report or something. But also, one thing I make sure I do every day, and along with everything the other girls have said, is making sure I take my products.
That's a good one, because that is easily forgotten.
I like to, and I don't do it every single day, but I try to do it 5 days a week, is like the same thing that you're saying, along with taking those products. I like to do either a live video about the products or a post about me using the products. So it's using them, but I also like to share that I'm using them. So that's something that I do. But I kind of, like you said, I don't know if I put, I guess that's kind of on your 6 list. But personal development, I do that every day too, which I agree, Amanda. I think that's crucial it's crucial to your success in this business, is personal development.
Yeah, definitely.
You do need to limit yourself though, because you don't want to spend all day doing personal development.
Well, and yeah, the thing is with that too, Heather, is personal development, I think, is a must, but you have to put that personal development into action. So, for instance,
Absolutely.
Oops, sorry, let me. Heather, you can unmute if you need to. But I just muted. Okay. But so, like, say for instance, you guys are all in this Zoom. Well, that's awesome. Like, this is so important to be plugged into the business, to do Zooms, to educate yourself, to like get plugged in and all that kind of stuff. But if you're not putting that stuff into action, it kind of does you no good. You know what I mean? So you have to take whatever you're doing, your personal development, whatever you're educating yourself on, whatever you're training yourself on, you have to make sure that you're implementing that so that you can actually grow from that, so that you can see results from that. So, yeah. Okay, does anybody else have anything to add for that, Heather?
Yeah, I was going to add one more thing. One thing that I learned already from this group too, I was previously following up with my current loyal customers like 1 or 2 days out of the month. And what I have learned is that a much smarter way to work is to do it as you go along. I think Tina taught us that. And so this month, what I'm doing is I'm picking 1 day a week, and that's my day on my 6 list. That'll be my following up with current customers.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good idea. Write that down.
Because I've been horrible at that, I'm not going to lie. And it's just too easy for us to be like, oh, I signed them, check. When really, like we've learned already, that building and keeping that relationship with them can turn in them, they might turn into a fabulous distributor. Or I have a customer that's been ordering literally for 2 years. Like you never know. So I feel like that, you guys have already expressed how important that relationship is. So I'm trying to stay on top of that.
There's I keep my system. I used to do the index card system like with my loyal customers. So it would be like January through December, and every loyal customer I'd get in January, I'd make a little file for them, and then I would be able to like keep track that way. And then I just kind of like, it was just hard for me to like do that, like stop whatever I'm doing to make the index. So now I keep it all in my little planner by month. So then all I have to do is switch back to like my July month, and I will see all of my loyal customers right there. So I know that I need to message all of them, see how their products are going, that kind of thing. So, or you could even, some people do it in their phone. So there's all kinds of different organization, but I think that's so huge, like keeping up on your current loyal customers, because that's a lot of volume right there that, we could keep going. Somebody asked, what type of personal development should we be looking at? Sam, I would say anything that helps you get motivated. Like in the morning, I will listen to podcasts. I listen to a lot of Joel Osteen. I listen to a lot of like, gosh, I just have, I have like a motivational like podcast that different like speakers will come on to. I read a lot of books. So I have tons of books that I'll read. If I only have like 5-10 minutes, I'll make sure I read the book. Getting onto like Zoom, plugging in, that is so important because it's going to help you not only learn, but it's going to pump you up. Like after this Zoom, like I'm going to be so pumped, like with my business, getting plugged in, being around like-minded people.
Next.
Does anybody else does anybody else have any good self-development tips?
I would say when it comes to YouTube, like, is great to find somebody that you connect with. So like I love Tony Robbins. Anything that says his deep man voice, whatever it is about him, he just always brings me in. I love him. There are some other people out there that really fits your personality, because there's some people who I like that swear up a storm and yell at me, but sometimes I need that, and it like snaps me out of a funk. So I mean, books, I do a lot of audio books because I don't enjoy sitting down and reading a book, but I like hearing it as I'm multitasking too. So I YouTube and just kind of start finding somebody to connect with. You like hearing them speak, the way that they speak, the way they present, and you'll find somebody that you like. And then YouTube is a beautiful free thing to start out with, for sure.
Yeah, I love YouTube, and YouTube is so great. And also on your phone, if you have a smartphone, you have like this little podcast. So you could click on that, and the same thing, except it's not really video, but you can just search like motivational or inspirational or business or whatever, or certain authors or certain people, and they'll pop right up too. So, okay, next question, unless anybody has anything else to say. Good? Okay. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Mom, okay, go on. Mommy's working, bud. What does your day look like in order? I just can not missing. Hold on. No, I'm working, buddy. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So I think we kind of covered that in the
I used to run an in-home daycare. I keep getting muted again. I don't know how that happened.
Sorry, guys. It kicked me off. Okay. Did you guys get that last question?
There we go. Okay. It kept going out, and then I kept somehow getting muted. So, yeah, so we were just starting to talk about how when you got a full-time job, I don't have the question written down verbatim, but basically how to manage when you have a full-time job.
Okay, perfect. Was somebody in that one?
Yeah, so I used to run an in-home daycare when I first started this business. And during nap time was my time to kind of work social media a little bit, but then in the evenings was when I was doing my parties. And then on the weekends was when I had events. So honestly, I just built it in, fit it in as I could. And then I think that's kind of how everyone's response is going to be. Go ahead, Tina, because you're kind of more, I'm sure you have a lot more to add to that.
I'm a registered responsibility with my schedule. I work from home about two and a half days a week, other than I am on the road. And when I'm on the road, I'm in a hilly area where I don't have cell phone service. So some people may think that that's great that I'm on the road and I can like message and whatever. Actually, I can't because the service is so bad. But I am able to do some personal development on the road. So that's when I do my personal development is when I'm driving. I don't listen to the radio. It's personal development only. I know looking at my week every week what my schedule brings. So I love this little thing. I got it from Hobby Lobby, and it just says like the days on it. It says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And this is an addition to my 6 list. So looking at my schedule, I know tomorrow afternoon, my son has an ortho appointment. Wednesday, I have an appointment with an injured worker. I have to be in Omaha at 8 a.m., so I have to be on the road at 6:30 in the morning. And I have a luncheon. So from 8 to 2, I'm going to be checked out from social media at all. Thursday, I have a 3-hour drive first thing in the morning. And then Friday, my marketing rep is in town. So Friday from 8 to 5, I won't be able to work at all during the day. And so looking at this, I work in and around what I need to do. My work day starts at 8 a.m. every day. Some days, if I'm on the road for an appointment, I have to be on the road sooner. Some days as early as 6 a.m. So if I have to start my day from home at 8 a.m. and I just come into my office and start working, I am up no later than 5:30. By 5:30 every morning, I have sent 100 Instagram requests. I've done all my happy birthdays. I've sent 25 Facebook friend requests. I've checked all of my reports from the day before. Anybody that signed customers from the last 24 hours, I checked the downline activity report. I've already sent them messages. I've already sent credit card decline messages. And then as I'm looking at my calendar for the week, so I know Friday I'm done. I can't squeeze any time in there to work. So tomorrow is when I'm going to message all of my loyal customers for the week. I just look at where I have extra blocks of time, okay? I also have 5 kids, so remember I'm not, I do have a life outside of everything. So tomorrow, message all of my loyal customers for the week. And I use Facebook lists. I don't know if you guys use Facebook lists or not, but it's really helped me stay organized. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays are the only days that I go to my loyal customer list. I don't scroll through Facebook. I'm super intentional with my time, and I'm super crabby with my money. I work very hard to give my family everything they have. I have an amazing family, but I don't scroll because scrolling takes away from my family. It takes money out of my checkbook. And so when I get onto Facebook or when I get on Instagram, I know what I'm doing. And with that, like I have at the beginning of the month, like I'm super red, guys. I have this binder, and on here are my goals for the month. And I even put down money goals, like how much more money I want to have in savings this month. And so I know that all of my It Works money it goes to medical bills. But in addition to that, I want to have extra money to put in a savings account. So I just know in my head, if I catch myself scrolling, I'm taking money from my family. And so I use my Facebook list. So on Tuesday and Thursday, this week, I'm going to do my Facebook list for my loyal customers and my potential men customers. And I will post a special post on Tuesdays and Thursdays just for my men customers, my potential men's. And then also Monday and Wednesday, I put down my loyal customer group. Like, I'm just very intentional and very detailed. I make lists for everything because, like I said, on Friday, I know right now I have no time for anything. So if that means I have to get up an extra hour early some night or someday this week, or stay up an extra hour late, I just have to do it. I don't have a choice. If I want to be successful, I don't have a choice. Does that answer everybody's questions?
Yes, that is amazing. And holy cow, you totally are just, you're so amazing. That was so great. Because you not only work full time, but you have a very successful business and you have 5 kids, a family. And so you literally have to write down every single second of your day pretty much. So thank you for that, because that's, I wrote down a lot of notes for that. Because I do the same thing. Like when I worked full time. And so I literally was up like every morning about like that 5 o'clock. I would leave the house by 6, work all day, and then come home. So what I did is, and then I had a 2-year-old at the time. What I did is I kind of the same thing, but I wasn't fully in like I am now. But I would wake up even earlier to work my business. I would work on my lunch, and I would work like when my little one went to bed. So every single second of my day was literally filled with something. And did I want to wake up earlier? No. Did I want to stay up later when my husband already went to bed? No. But I knew that the sacrifice that I was making at that time was an investment for what it has brought me now, because now I've been retired for 2.5 years. So I think definitely like what Tina said, make your time like super intentional. Like you, my friend, need to do like a separate Zoom on exactly how you organize everything, because you are so awesome. But that is awesome. Does anybody have questions about that or anything? Anybody want to add anything? Oh, okay.
I wanted to point out, just like, I want all of you guys to see what she just, really hear what she just.
Oh, you're breaking up. I don't know. Is that at my end or?
That's an hour. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's 1 hour that got all that stuff done. And so even if you don't work full time, the best thing you can do for your business is to work it like it's your second job, scheduling that time out to work your business, and look at what you can accomplish. I feel like when we don't work full time, sometimes we get so caught up in not wanting to be scheduled that we're hurting our business. And so I just really wanted to point out, like, everything she was.
Did she freeze, or is it my end?
It's Heather.
Okay. I think it kicked her off.
We should take some pictures of
able to accomplish in an hour, and how.
Oh. Okay. You lost a little bit of what you were saying, but I was gonna say too that it's so true what Heather was saying. Like we like those who either were full or part-time or stay home or whatever, like it's so true. Like, oh, I can do that in the morning, or I can do that at night or whatever. But I was being mentored. I don't know if any of you guys follow Bob Heilig, but I did one of his mentoring classes, and he literally told me, Amanda, you need to write down every minute of your day, and you will see that you are wasting so much time in your day. He was like, write down every minute from the minute you wake up till the minute you go to bed. Write down what exactly you are doing. And he was like, you will see a huge gap where there's so much time that you have, even if you're the busiest person. So, and that's exactly what Tina does. So I thought that was awesome. Jess, did you want to add something? I saw that you popped up.
Now, I don't want everyone to think that that's all I do is work, because I do have a lot of playtime. So I'm very focused, I'm very focused with my work time, so I can have a lot of playtime. So don't look at me and say you can't do what I do, because all I do is work. I do a lot of play as well, but it's because I'm so intentional with my work time that it allows me all the playtime I want.
Yeah, exactly. Well, just like you even said, in that hour that that you get done all that whole, lot of stuff in that hour, because your time is so intentional. You know what you're doing. You know exactly step by step what you're doing each time that you're working. So I think that's huge. Okay, the next question is, let's see. Do you blitz? If so, how do you approach somebody? Who wants to take this one?
I can take that one. Start with it at least. Yeah, Blitz is a huge thing. I think everyone has to, and if you don't, then you're definitely missing out. I'm going to be completely honest here. I did not Blitz for the first 3 months of my business because I was terrified because I moved to a new town. So I didn't know how to Blitz. I was never told what to do. I didn't have that guidance, and it terrified me. And social media worked for me, so I didn't really care to get out there and step out of my comfort zone. When I, exhausted my, warm market, I knew I had to step out there and kind of do some different things. So I did. And what worked for me at the time was to look up videos on YouTube and just search blitzing tips. And then you have to get out there and you have to challenge yourself. So for me, I went out there and I was like, hi, have you tried this crazy wrap thing? And you guys, I literally felt like an idiot. I walked to my car and be like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is so stupid. But here's the thing. I was doing what worked for other people. I wasn't doing what worked for me. But in the process of me trying different things, I found exactly what worked for me. So saying, have you tried this crazy wrap thing? No, I'll never say that again because I felt like I was on a commercial. So for me, what works for me is to say, can I give you a coupon? Now, I also tried going out and just randomly being giving people coupons. And then I felt like I was like a salesperson, and that's not what this is all about. So what works for me is saying, can I give you a coupon, and working it into your life. When I go to the post office, you can bet your bottom dollars that person's going to get a coupon, a Blitz card. I go to the grocery store, I'm not going to miss an opportunity to give somebody a Blitz card. When I go to a restaurant and I exchange money or whatever, they're getting a Blitz card. So think about all the things that you've done today. Okay. Think about all the places you went. Think about all the people that you encountered. You didn't give them a Blitz card. If you could replay this whole day over again, who would you have given a Blitz card to? Who did you give money to? The gas station, the grocery store. Think about all those people that you had a conversation with that you could have easily said, hey, can I give you a Blitz card? Hey, can I give you a coupon? Hey, whatever. You know what I mean? Whether it be products, business, whatever. But I hear a lot from people that are new, especially, that say, I just can't do that yet because I don't have Blitz cards. Bull, get creative, get a Blitz card on your phone. And I was going to say I could pull it up, but it'll take a little bit. I have a Blitz card, and then I used WordSwag. I put my name on it. I put my phone number and my website. Guys, I'll be on an airplane, and I'll be like, hey, I remember one time I flew and I didn't have Blitz cards, and I was so mad at myself, but I was like, nope, not going to be an excuse. I downloaded it. I was so ready to go. And I blitzed at least 10 people, I think, just in that one travel. Because I was so mad at myself, I challenged myself to text it to people. You can save that and say, hey, you know what? I just handed out my last coupon. Do you mind if I text it to you? That's actually even better because that's a guarantee that you're going to have their contact information. So for me, as scared as I was to Blitz, I literally could have a conversation with anybody and everybody and Blitz any person that I encounter. So it's very, very important. You have to get comfortable with it. It's not easy at first, but it will get easier.
Oh, sorry. I love blitzing. Can I talk? I love blitzing. Okay. I am like Danielle. It's a coupon. It's totally a coupon. And I just started my business. Can I give you a coupon? I just started this brand new business. I've been in the business for 2.5 years, but I just started today. So I give everybody my coupon. When I swipe my card, they get a coupon. It's as easy as that. The other thing is, when you go to a restaurant and they give you the money envelope and you put your debit card and you put the PIN and stuff in there, I always put a Blitz card. Now, if I go somewhere and they have they were the best waiter or the waitress ever, I will take in my little Blitz bag, I also have Post-it notes. And so I will write on the Post-it note, thank you for the amazing service. I love your personality. You would be amazing at what I do. And then I just, it's simple as that. Now, I want to tell you a story about blitzing. I have signed up so many customers from blitzing. And it's not because I'm fabulous in any way. It's because I stutter and I turn red. But it's because I add the follow through. So let's just say that I'm blitzing Danielle and I ask her if she wants my coupon. and she looks at it and she flips it over on her own. Like, I'm not the person that like talks for hours when I hand somebody a Blitz card. Like, I go numb. Like, it's so uncomfortable for me. But then she's looking at the back, and on the back's my contact information. I will then say, here, find yourself on Facebook. And I will literally hand over my phone and let them find themselves on Facebook and send themselves a friend request. It's so easy to get people on social media, because once we're on social media, that's my comfort zone. Like, I can take it from there. It's just getting them in my phone. Last Thursday night, we had a One Team, One Mission in Lincoln, Nebraska. And Aspen, everybody knows who Aspen is, right? Our regional director. Her and 3 other Triple Diamonds, along with like 20 people, were all sitting at a restaurant for supper. And the lady brought around envelopes to put our cards in. And I put a debit or a Blitz card in mine. And, you know, she took it from everybody. And I walked away, and Aspen says, did you Blitz her? And I said, yeah, did anybody else? And they're like, no, I didn't Blitz her. I never blitzed the waitresses. She signed up as a loyal because when she come back, she was asking about the wraps. And that was the exact night that Mark did the live BOGO from the thing. And so she brought her ticket back. I'm like, hey, they just went on BOGO. She signed as a loyal customer the next day. So you just have to talk to people, but just know that everybody gets nervous.
That's awesome. Those are really good tips. I'm the same way. I always had a hard time blitzing. Is it cutting out or is it good?
No, you're good.
Okay. But I don't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Pam or who it was when I first got into this business. I heard somebody say, you never know who that one person is who's going to change your business. And so as soon as I heard that, like something in my mind clicked, and like even though like I'm like super introvert, and I don't want to go up and like, even if I say like, hey, do you want a coupon? Like, it's just uncomfortable for me. But as soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm not letting any of these people who are around me know not let them go without giving them a Blitz card, because you never know who I can change their business, or who I can change their world, or they can change my business, you know? So once I had that in my mind, like you never know who is going to change your business, or you never know who you can help with this business, my mindset totally changed with blitzing. And now I just blitz everyone that I come in sight with. And I do it the same way as Danielle. Is it cutting out? Sorry, guys. Let me try to move. Does anybody else want to take?
Yeah, another tip on blitzing is.
Yeah, I actually have. Oh.
Go ahead. I'll just real quick.
Nope, go ahead, Tina.
Another thing is, I give these to my husband, the Blitz card, and I'll be like, you can't come home till you get rid of 5 of them. I don't know what he does with them. I don't know if he hands them out or throws them away. I don't know. But I've actually had people send me random friend requests, and I'll be like, hey, do I know you? Yeah, your husband gave me a Blitz card. So, you know, mine goes to the gas station. Give the lady a Blitz card. Just hand it to her. Tell her that your wife made you drop it off.
I have something to share. So when I first started, and let me know if I cut out, but when I first started, I was terrified of even the thought of blitzing. And I actually went out with my upline, and she had never been blitzing before. And I felt like I had to keep a stack of Blitz cards next to me and just randomly hand them out to people and be like, here you go, here's my coupon, here's my coupon, here's my coupon. And it terrified me so badly that I would never do it, or I would just fall apart. So what I ended up doing, because I am super yellow with a hint of red, is I really like to add to people's lives. So whenever I am, you know, with the cashier or with the waitress or the hostess or whatever, I let them doing me a favor. Thank you for the great service. The meal was wonderful. I'm so grateful. Here's a coupon for my business. I just wanted to say thank you. And that way they, I feel like I'm doing them something, doing them a favor while they're doing me a favor. And I'm adding that to my network, The other thing too is lead boxes. I was terrified of doing lead boxes. The first time I ever did lead boxes, I created a lead box and I went to a local salon to go put it in the salon and gather leads. And I got there and I was so terrified that I sat in the car for probably a half hour before I convinced myself it was stupid and I went home. And you guys, I did that 3 separate times before I actually got up the courage to go into the salon and place the lead box, which was not that hard. And I came back a week later to pick it up, and I had one name in there. One name, and I felt like I'm so bad at this. I'm so terrible. I contacted her. She decided to come over and try a wrap, and she is now one of my double diamond leaders. And I had no idea, and I was terrified for so long. And now I know that even if something is difficult, like I need to continue to work myself out of my comfort zone, because I was so stuck in my bubble that, you know, I was holding myself back from all of these people around me that needed this business. And so now I work really hard. I still get terrified. I still get scared, but I work really hard to do those things all the time, because I know that there's people out there that are one day going to thank me for, you know, adding to their life. So I just wanted to throw that in there real quick.
That's awesome. That is so amazing, Jess. Can you guys hear me better in here? Okay. So what I was saying that was kind of breaking up, but I was saying that I was the same way, but as soon as I heard somebody say, you never know who can change your life or who you can change their life, then like my whole, you know, viewpoint, my whole like fear kind of didn't go away, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna either change that person's life or they're gonna change mine. And that's just kind of how it kind of got over that fear of blitzing. Somebody asked, where would you get a lead box? I've made mine, but you can also get them off of Amazon or YouTube or eBay. Jess, did you make yours or did you get yours somewhere?
Yeah. My first ones I made out of tissue boxes. Super creative. Now what I do is I just get a little glass jar from the dollar store. I attach a Blitz card to the back to the top, and then I put enter to win on the front. Super simple, takes 5 seconds. And then I just put the lead forms and a pen next to it, and it makes it like, it looks nice, and yeah, I get a lot of hits off of that.
That's perfect. Yeah, you can definitely just make them. Okay, next question. What's some advice you'd give a new team member that says they only have a certain amount of time to be available, or they just are super busy? I would just kind of say what like we all kind of brushed upon, what Tina brushed upon, just making sure that the time is super intentional, even if they only have like 20 minutes to work their business a day. Like if they make those 20 minutes like super intentional, then, you know, they should be good. And then having that consistency over time. Do you guys want to add to that?
I'll add, I guess. I think, and I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but I feel like a lot of people say they don't have time, but then if they really want something done and they've got a goal in mind and they're like, oh my God, I can really do this, Guys, they make time. And here's how. People are obsessed with Netflix shows. Obsessed. Like Bachelorette, people are like, hell no, I'm not doing anything. I'm watching Bachelorette. Well, you know what? When I went diamond or double diamond, whatever, I'm obsessed with Bachelorette and Bachelor, guys. Love it. But the month that I was pushing, I said, Netflix is going to be there next month. We'll be okay. So I put it off. You have to make sacrifices. And I feel like if your why is big enough, you will make those sacrifices. That being said, I feel like you've got to figure out time in your day. So, you know, again, you know, I'll wake up early. Are you willing to wake up early? Are you willing to wake up an hour early to work your business? Well, that's something that you have to decide. But here's the thing. We don't have a boss. So we have to be our own boss. But that's the thing, that's what we want in this business, is we want to make our own decisions, but you have to be intentional and you have to make your own schedule. You know, if you're on a lunch break and you're eating lunch, think about all the stuff that you can do while you're eating lunch. You can message people, you can comment, you can follow up, you can like posts. Think about stuff that you do. So for example, I work my business 100% when he goes down for a nap and then when he goes down to bed. That's when I'm like straight, like ready to go. But when I'm putting him down to bed or when I'm putting him down for his nap, it probably takes a good 15 to 20 minutes. So I always have my phone in my hand, and that is the time that I'm scrolling commenting, liking, engaging. I'm not going to do like super intentional, like power hour when I'm trying to put him down for a nap, but I'm not going to waste 20 minutes when I could be doing something. So the easiest thing that I can do is scroll, comment, like, whatever. That's brainless. So I do that when I'm basically just laying next to him in bed, putting him down for a nap or bed. So that's mine.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Courtney said, how do you tell a distributor that? So how do you tell it somebody who's saying, hey, I don't have a lot of time to run this business. I really want to make this work, but I have no time. I would pretty much I try to work through with them and just say, hey, okay, so break it down for me. What's your schedule like? Let's figure out, because I will let you know, the busiest people are the most successful people in this business. So let's break it down. Let's, what's your schedule like? And then at that point, then we can typically find some kind of way, some time for them to work their business.
Yeah. The other thing I just want to add real quick is when somebody says they're super, super busy, they can't do anything, I talk to them about Buffer and how to use Buffer successfully. I feel like a lot of people, once Buffer came out, it was like, woo, I don't have to do anything. You set stuff up and you let it go. But if you use Buffer and you use it in a good way, if you're at work for a certain amount of hours and say a teacher, you can't be on your phone, set up a couple posts in the morning, whether it be one about the business, one about your family, whatever it may be. Then at lunch, check those posts, see if somebody maybe commented or liked it or whatever, and maybe follow up with them on your lunch break. Then have your Buffer post at 1:00 and then again at 3:00. And then at night, maybe after dinner when your kids are just relaxing, go check those posts. So use that time and use Buffer to help you, but then go back when you have time and check those posts and comments and, stuff like that. So I always talk about Buffer. If it's I literally can't be on my phone all day while I'm at work, what do I do? That's the thing that I turn to.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a really thing on my team. I don't know who else on my team on here. Busy is a bad word. We laugh if somebody says busy. We're like, oh, you said the bad word. But when a potential says that to me, I will say, oh, girl, I love busy people. Let's talk about your goals. And I instantly switch off of that conversation to get them away from I'm too busy for this. And I want to talk about their goals. How much money do you want to make a month with this business? And then when they start telling me how much money they want to make and what their goals are, I'll be like, awesome. Okay, so then to make that much money a month. So say they tell you when they go diamond in 3 months. So then I'll tell them actually what the commitment's going to be. But if they're like, I just want to make a couple $100 to, have nail money, or I just want to make enough to cover my products, then I can break it down and be like, okay, well, this is about what you're going to have to put into it a month or a week. And then they're like, oh, well, I have plenty of time. I can do that. That just works for me, though, to say it, to break it that way, break it down.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. I take it away from that because the honest to God truth is it's an excuse. They do have time to work this business. We have time to do anything that we want to do if we decide that we want to have the time to do it. And so the underlying bottom, line for them is that it's an excuse. They're just finding excuses to not work their business. And so whether it's a potential or a distributor, it's reminding them why did you join? Okay, why did you join? And like Tina said, I work through their goals. I remind them, okay, well, this is why you started. So if you don't find the time to work this business, then you're not going to make that $500. So let's look at your schedule. When can you find that? And then do what like Amanda said, but keep it all focused on their goals. Take their mind off of, oh, I don't have time. You want to help everyone see that the value in what they're doing, so that it becomes worth their time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, one more before it gets lost. Somebody said, sorry, I think it got lost already. How do you get over a fear on social media? I'm finding Facebook really rough for me, and I think it's me. I'll just tell you how I get over my fears really quick, and then you guys can talk, but I make sure that my why is defined. Anytime I have a fear, whether it's on social media or a fear of blitzing or a fear of reaching out to somebody who I think would be awesome at this business, I make sure that my why is defined, because once my why is defined, then nothing's going to get in my way. Nothing's going to stop me from, going out and, facing those fears. And then I also make sure that I'm pouring even more into self-development. I make sure that I'm doing daily affirmations and I'm putting my fear into those affirmations, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I will get over. And then over time, you just, if you're so fearful of social media, ask yourself why. Like, why do you care about what those people are thinking of you? Is it fear of people are laughing at you? Your fear of you're being rejected? Like, what you're fearful of? And then just kind of tackle it that way.
Can I share a quick story?
Yes.
I actually blocked, don't mind him. Did you guys see that? I actually blocked everybody that did It Works before I signed up. So I hated Facebook posts. I hated it. It was obnoxious. It irritated me. I didn't like anything about it. So when I did end up signing up, I was really afraid to post on social media. I was like, okay, I just don't know what to do. Like, how can I? And then I'm like, I don't even know people in my town. Like, what am I doing? This is so stupid. So I knew I had to turn to social media, and I had a pretty good network that I knew I had to kind of work. So then I had to take a step back and say, okay, don't be like those people that I hated, that I blocked on Facebook. What's going to work for me? So I knew that I had to step outside my comfort zone and try to figure out what worked for me, kind of like the whole blitzing idea. So for me, if you go to my Facebook page, you will see that most of the time I'm creating my own posts, whether it be me with an It Works hat on, whether it be a selfie, whether it be me pointing up with a picture up here, whatever it may be. It's my adventure that I'm sharing with people. Why are people Facebook friends with you? Because they want to see your life. They didn't become Facebook friends with you to watch all of your advertisements of your new business that you just started. So take a step back, and something that I do for my team almost on a monthly basis, if not every other month, I do a challenge and I say, I challenge you to go to your Facebook page right now, screenshot 3 screenshots of your pictures that you have. What are you getting? Are you getting a good balance of motivation, product posts, business posts, family? And if somebody screenshots their stuff and all I see is corporate pictures or black, green, and bling pictures that they've taken from somebody else, I'm going to say, this is what's wrong. You want social media to work for you, but it's not working because you literally are not sharing your life. You are sharing stuff that other people are sharing, and it's just advertisements, really. So once I felt like I kind of figured that out, then I felt like I really got going. But, and a big, big, big but, I had a lot of haters when I signed up, and I almost quit because of them. But once I got my head wrapped around the whole you don't pay my bills type of thing, like once you really, truly, and honestly sit down and have a come to Jesus with yourself and say, I don't give a shit what these people, excuse my language. I don't care what these people think of me. I don't care what these people say about me. I'm doing this for myself and my family, and I'm going to do the best thing that I possibly can. And here's the thing, guys, we don't sell t-shirts and shoes and hats. We sell health and wellness products. So stand behind it. Be confident and feel good about it and know that you're helping people. So when you do put those posts out there, put some thought into it and don't just take it from somebody else and throw it up and then get mad when you don't get customers from it. So think about what people want to see on your Facebook page and share that type of stuff.
I also just want to
I wanted to.
Amanda's muted. She started talking. Sorry, I was going to tell her that.
I'm just saying, does anybody else have anything to add?
I think one thing I just want to add is you have to know what your why is. Some people will tell me, oh, my why is I want to pay, I just want $200 extra for groceries a month. That's not your why. Your why goes way deeper than that. Like, why do you need $200 extra money a month? If it's because your husband, you never see your husband and you want to help him out, like, keep going and keep digging. When you get that emotional drive as to why you are doing this, not just because you signed up just to make $200 a month, but really why you're doing this and why you're taking time away from your family and time away from your friends and putting all of your your thoughts and effort into building this business, kind of lost at words here. You're not going to really, like Danielle said, give a shit what anybody says on social media. You know, it came down to, I had to make this work. I had 105 Facebook friends. I had to make it work, or I had to go find a job. And I don't know if you're in a situation, but when you truly find out what you're doing and what you want and what your goals are, nobody's going to stop you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for adding that. That was awesome. Okay, let me see. I think I lost what question we're on. Somebody says, okay, how to get DTs motivated to work or even have a launch party for them. I'm super straight and to the point when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I just think, you know what, like, I never write anybody off unless they're like, okay, I definitely don't want to do this. Like, you know, take me off of whatever. Then I'm like, okay, peace out. But I definitely do not give a lot of my time to people who aren't working in this business. So meaning they're making excuses or they're not getting back to me. Like, I work with my workers. I work with my walkers. I work with my runners. I work with my joggers. I work with people who want to make this business work. Those people who aren't, I'm not going to try to motivate them because we can't motivate people. The best way, I know this is another question, the best way we could ever, you know, keep people inspired or do anything like that is by leading by example, by making sure that we are doing what we need to do, by making sure that we're, you know, getting our customers, getting our distributors, doing self-development, like posting the way that we should. By leading by example is how we are going to keep the people who want to be in this business, how we're going to inspire people, but you can't motivate people. That's going to have to be from within them. So I don't even, if I have somebody who signs up and they don't get back to me, I'm not going to keep hounding them, or I'm not going to keep begging them to have a launch party. Like, I have my own life. I have my own, you know, I have so many other team members who do want this, and that's who I'm going to focus on. And those people may actually come around, but if not, that's okay too. I'm going to find people who want to work this business. And you guys, I just want to let you guys know, I did not have a runner until I went double diamond. So I didn't have somebody who really was right there working their own business until I went double diamond. And my husband was my diamond. So he's my biggest leg. So then I started getting all these runners, and I started getting all these people to work. But it took me all the way till double diamond to get people who actually wanted to work this business. So that's kind of my tips and thoughts on that.
I'm super, super busy, as you all know. I said the B word. I just flat out tell them, if you want me, you'll be in my back pocket. Like, I don't chase anybody. I don't have time to chase anybody. If they want, I will, when they first start, ask them when they're going to have their launch party. I will ask them one more time. After that, I don't. They can see in the team page that other people are having their launch parties. I just don't chase anybody. If they want to run and they want to be successful, you have to be 18 to sign as a distributor, and you're a business owner. You have to take responsibility for your actions.
Absolutely.
I got something from a book that I read one time. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we
can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Am I muted?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the little face didn't switch, so I didn't know if I was still muted. One thing I got from a book that I read, GoPro, and I loved it. He said there's three kinds of people in this business, okay? You've got the people that sign up and they understand, like, they get it. They understand that being successful is completely up to me, okay? It's completely up to us. And they would take responsibility for their business. They take responsibility for growth, for being successful. And so they put in the work. They put in the personal development. And they know that it's not their team that's going to get them there. It's them. And then you've got the other people, the next kind of person. And that's the person that signs up and they just keep waiting. Do I have my runner yet? Do I have my runner yet? I just need a runner. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to make it to the top as soon as I get a runner. Maybe this is my runner. Oh, when am I going to get my runner? And I was that person. Like, I was that person at the beginning. And then that really resonated with me, because we cannot depend on anybody else to get us to the top. And I feel like especially in the beginning, so much of us really, really, really wanting to motivate our distributors and get them to work comes from that desperation of wanting to hurry up and be successful and feeling like we have to have other people to make that happen. But we don't. You get focused on you get focused on your business, and then that's when things will change. And that's exactly what happened with me. I started focusing on my business, realizing I'm the only one that can get me to the top, not them. I'm going to do this with or without them, And it's no different than we're talking to potential. It's like, you can't be desperate. You can't be desperate for your team to work, because at the end of the day, they have to find their own inner motivation. We can inspire, we can mentor, we can coach, but we cannot be their motivation. Their motivation comes from within, and they have to learn, just like you guys, like we have to learn how to overcome those emotions of not wanting to work. And we have to learn how to develop the mindset that of working our business with conviction, where we're going to work no matter what, and we're going to be successful no matter what. And so it's no different with potentials or with teammates. And so reading that really helped me realize, that I needed to let go. And if they're not going to meet me at my pace, if you're not doing anything, like Amanda said, like if they're not responding to me, if you're not doing anything, I'm not going to spend my valuable time continuing to reach out to you and beg you and pour into you, and you can do this, But if they become ready, I let you know, like, look, if you're ready, I'm here. And, so I really think that's something to think about as you face that frustration of teammates that aren't working.
Yeah, I agree. And I 100% think, like, if you guys are all of you guys are going for a goal, right? So, okay, say, like, this is my mindset. Like, say you're going for double diamond right now, and you are, signing distributors, signing loyal customers, but then you're like, I just need that one Ruby to work their business. I really hope that one Ruby works their business this month so I can go double diamond. You need to change your mindset 100%. You need to say, okay, I need to make sure that I'm, feeling that volume. Like, how many loyal customers do I need to get? How many distributors I need to get? So that's the mindset you want to have. So look at your charts. Like, I'm going for presidential. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, how many distributors do I need to get? How many loyal customers do I need to get? And whatever my team gets, well, that's just a bonus, right? So that's kind of the mindset you want to have when you're going for Ruby. Okay, how many distributors do I need to get? How many loyal customers do I need to get? Because I'm going to make sure I get to Ruby, and I'm going to bring my team. Whoever wants to come with me can come with me, that kind of thing. So it's completely up to you, not your team. And obviously this is a team business, and we want to lead by example. We need to have team, but you need to make sure that you're leading by example and that you have the mindset that you're just going to do it. Because it will happen. Somebody else, there's a couple other questions that were just kind of on the lines of, how to motivate my team, somebody says, I want to make sure I'm training my team the best I can. What do y'all send your teams to keep them on their toes and give them helpful things to help their business every day? Send them things. I'll just say one thing and I'll let you guys take this over. We are not in a business to manage people. Okay, so we are in a business to work our own businesses and help people, train people, coach people, mentor people, but we are not in a business to manage people. And so it's not really your responsibility, to make sure that they're motivated or anything like that. I work very close with my team and I do send them stuff every day but I don't manage them. We are all adults. This is all of your guys' own individual business, and your success is strictly up to you. So that's kind of how my mindset is with my team. However, I'm there 100% to help coach them, guide them, train them, mentor them. Do any of you guys do specific things for your team each day?
I definitely have something to say about this. I think somebody else started to talk though, but okay. So one thing that I've really, really learned about this is people want to know how you're working. Your team wants to know how you're working. They want to know what you're doing. And I have found that the most effective thing I can do is just communicate with them on what I am doing to work my business. So I mean, I do the same thing as Amanda. I completely agree with that. I don't talk to them every day. I don't, you know, what's your check, comment done when you're doing this. Like, I don't do all that every day, because at the end of the day, we have to take responsibility for our own business. But I do think that it's very important that, that my team knows, what I do to work my business, and then they can, I feel like that's more, motivating for them, more, if that's the word. Anyway, that's something that I've learned, and I've done a lot of different things. I started out this business very differently, like, than I do now. And I was very, like, I handheld everybody. I believed in everybody, and I tried to drag them along, and I tried to motivate everybody, inspire everybody. Felt like I had to talk to everybody every day, but we can't micromanage. Nobody likes to be micromanaged, okay? And all that does is put us in management mode. So I think, and if you're yellow, this is a lot harder for you to work through, because you care so much about what they think. But I have found just letting them know, keeping things very simple, and just be like, hey, look, this is what I'm doing today. And not even every day, but, you know, on at least consistently or whatever. And then check in with them, you know, like, what are your goals, that kind of thing. But just getting away from that whole, I have to provide that motivation for them. Well, that'll give you more time to work your business too.
Yeah.
I don't send things every single day. My team all follows me on Facebook, so they can see that I post. I don't primarily build my business on Facebook. I do Instagram. So about once a week, I'll just kind of screenshot my Instagram into my team page. But I will share conversations. So yesterday, I signed a loyal customer that was basically a referral from a customer. So I just screenshotted the conversation in the team page. If I am messaging and I get a loyal customer, I will just screenshot the conversation so people can see exactly how I message, exactly what I say. If I do a party and I sign loyal customers from it, I tell them, like Heather said, I tell them what I'm doing. People don't, I think sometimes people wonder, like, well, how do you work your business? You know, am I doing it the right way? And I find that's more helpful, is telling people how I signed a customer or how I got a lead.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I definitely think leading from the front is what it's all about. I don't think, you know, telling people what to do isn't going to get you anywhere. I think if I want this business more for you than you want it for yourself, then we're not going in the right direction. I do post on a regular basis on my team page, but it's not a daily thing, and it's not tasks for them to do. You know, it's sometimes, I will say a lot of it is motivation or inspirational stuff to inspire them to then go out there and do something with their own business. But you'll see on my Facebook page every now and again, I will take a picture of, you know, a note that I leave a waitress. You know, don't miss an opportunity. If I have an amazing waitress, she's not just going to get a Blitz card. She's going to get a note from me, and it's going to say, you know, you were amazing. You have an awesome personality. You know, I'd really like to talk with you more if you're interested in making some extra money. I do this from home right from my phone. And I will take a picture of that and post it on, you know, I think Tina just said it. She, you know, her team follows her, so they see what I'm doing. And if I go out and do something, I'll take a picture of it and post it, so that they can kind of see, this is me working my business. So I feel like leading from the front as a whole is really what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. And also, like, encouraging them to jump on, like, team Zooms and all that kind of stuff, you know. Just tag them in certain posts, like, send them certain things if you feel that they've inspired you, certain videos that you've watched, and be like, oh my gosh, my team needs to hear this. Like, send it to them, stuff like that. But it doesn't have to be where you're working, you know, or spending time, you know, an hour out of your day, you know, to send them things to help motivate them. That's not how this should be. Okay, I think that there's just a couple more. I know this is kind of going over the hour, so we'll try to hurry. How do you respond to a potential distributor that needs to speak with their significant other first? I just say that's always a hard one because I'm like, really? But you, of course, they want to respect their significant other. So I just say, okay, let's touch base tomorrow, or if it's in the morning, let's just touch base, this evening or something. What time works good for you? So I will always set like a time. That way I know I can follow up with them a certain time. But that's what I do. You can't really say like, well, that's kind of like, I wouldn't know what else to say besides like, why kind of thing. Like, but I don't know. That's just what I kind of say. So does anybody else have any suggestions on what to say to that?
I was on a Zoom with Pam, and this was a question that came up, and this was from Pam. His response was, I know how much he loves you, and he supports you 100% and will truly be by your side in this business.
Perfect. There you go. That's from Pam. So, okay. Let's see. I think that was about it. Somebody else said, some of the questions were kind of the same. Somebody else said, why do we tell our customers to drink so much water? Why does it matter so much for the wraps? Product Coach doesn't cover this. Well, we're in a health and wellness business, so we should be drinking, half of our body weight anyways in ounces of water, whether we're doing the wraps or not. But the wraps are going to work best, by drinking a certain amount of water, because we got to flush things out of our body. And so I just say, here's what you got to do, and this is what the wraps say to do, so you got to do it.
I know another question in there too, as far as like missing goals. If you set a goal and you miss it, kind of like how to deal with that, or that kind of thing. And so I want to touch base on that, because when the diamond came out, my husband and I, we missed that $10,000 diamond bonus 6 times. 6 times. So, of course, every time I was kind of like bummed out, but at the end of the day, I kind of looked, both my husband and I were like, well, you know what? We truly didn't put in the work necessary for that. So we didn't earn that yet. But it didn't stop us, because as long as we see the big picture, then that timeline for that bonus, that rank, whatever it is, doesn't matter, because you're going to get there eventually. Like, I've been in this business for 5 years, and I'm a triple diamond. If it takes me 5 more years to go ambassador, I'm cool with that, because I know if any other job that I'd go into, I'm not going to average 30 grand a month in 5 years. It just wouldn't happen. So as long as you see that big picture and where you're headed, then to me, don't ever change your goal. Just kind of change the timeline a little bit and keep pushing towards it. So, doesn't miss it. Just keep pushing through and know where you're going.
Yeah, I love that. So true. Does anybody have anything else you want to add, or any other questions? We had a lot of good questions. I loved it. I hope that this helped so much.
Can I just interject really quickly on the asking the spouse question?
Yes.
Okay. I was one of those. I had to talk to my husband, because $99 was a lot for us at that time. And so we both had to be on the same page. And let me take my headphones off. My enroller, she was very, very sympathetic, and she told me, I understand. I had to talk with my husband too, and we both had to be on the same page. And so that's what kind of made me feel comfortable enough to continue to consider this business. If she had said, well, it doesn't really matter, it's just a side business type of thing, I probably wouldn't be in this business if she had responded that way. She was very respectful of the fact that me and my husband had to be on the same page. So it's just kind of, I guess it's more so of just relating to the person, and even if you don't really understand why, you're still relating to what they feel is important.
Absolutely. I think no matter what, I don't think even if you think like, okay, why? Like, you wouldn't say that to them. You would just say, okay, yes. Like, that's why I like to say,
Yeah.
you know, are you going to talk to them tonight? Let's chat tomorrow. You know, so if we're really
Yep.
getting to the people, just like what Jennifer says, you know, that would be pretty harsh if you're like, well, it doesn't matter. It's only a side business. I don't think anybody would ever say that. I would hope not. But I like what Pam said too. But of course, you know, again, you could always say, you know, let's chat, you know, this evening, or let's chat tomorrow.
I think I just more so wanted to highlight the understanding part of the response is just understanding that not everybody, sometimes it's a little bit harder for some people to just jump right in. So I guess, I mean, that was highlighted. I just wanted to highlight it more.
Yeah.
You know, I think that goes even for loyal customers. I hear a lot of times from my team, well, I had Samantha down. She was supposed to order, you know, wraps yesterday, and she didn't order, but I saw her out buying shoes or grocery shopping. Always be understanding of everybody's situation. God will bring the right people into your business at the right time. Whether it be customers, distributors, or whatever, they will all come when it's their time. And always be sympathetic and always understand everybody's situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And some people might have an open relationship with their spouse and they don't discuss money. Like we always discuss, even if we want to spend like $30, I'm like, hey, do you mind if I buy this shirt? You know, so you never know, like, you know, what their situation is with their spouse. They may discuss every little single thing with their spouse, and some people might not. So definitely understanding, you know, a lot of times though, I will say that sometimes when they say, not a lot of times, but sometimes when they're like, okay, well, let me, you know, if they're like ready to order and they're ready to do this, and then they'll say like, okay, well, let me talk to my spouse. Sometimes now that is an excuse because they are, something got in their head or something. So then that's when you're like, okay, well, let's figure this out. When can we, meet back up to get you signed up? Because sometimes I would say more than 50% of the time it's an excuse. And I would say the other part of the time it's definitely that they have that relationship where they communicate how much things are. So I think you just need to fill the person out and really, you know, kind of go that way. But there's not really much you can do when they say let's talk to the spouse. I mean, it is what it is.
One thing I've done that's helpful in that situation is I'll just say, okay, well, what questions do you think that he will have? And let's set up a call with me and my husband, and that way he can hear from a man's perspective. Okay, y'all, my husband does not work this business, okay? And most of the time, they don't do that because it's just an excuse. So most of the time, they don't even follow through with like, oh, yeah, let's do that. But by me comforting them and letting them know, like, okay, yeah, absolutely. Tell me what questions you think that he will have. And, you know, and then my husband and I will sit down. It's showing them like, you know, like it's giving it more legit, you know, like me and my husband's already on my side with this. He already supports me, that kind of thing. It's been helpful for me. I have had some people that would be like, oh yeah, that'd be great. And then I've, you know, had the people where it pulls out like, oh, well, that was really just an excuse. So, oh crap, what do I say now? You know what I mean?
I was actually just going to say the same thing, Heather. So it's kind of funny. I always say, you know, definitely touch base with, you know, talked with him tonight. And then, you know, I'm here. So whatever questions he has, like shoot me a message and let's talk about it because, and then I kind of try to be relatable. I try to share a personal story about myself and I always laugh about it, but I'm always like, I told my husband I was doing it whether he wanted me to or not. And he knew he didn't really have a choice. So like, I kind of joke about it that way, but then I say my husband actually called it a hobby for like, actually until I hit double diamond. He always said it was a hobby. So I always kind of bring that up just as like a joke, like, trust me, like until my husband saw a paycheck, like he was not on board with this thing. So I let people know, like, I get it. I totally understand. Talk with him because you know what? Sometimes husbands are like so much more skeptical than their wife. So not that we have to convince them, but letting them know, like, it's okay. You know, I even talked to somebody before she signed up. I talked to the husband on the phone. I was like, oh my God, she just like threw him on the phone. And I was like, but I was like, this is what it's about. Like, you know, and answering his questions and making him feel comfortable, then in turn makes her feel comfortable. Now, again, every relationship is very different. I am in a relationship where if we spend over $300, we have a conversation about it. You know what I mean? And I kind of do what I want to do. He does what he wants to do. So every relationship is very different. So just respecting that when you are talking to people. But I will also say, I do know when someone's kind of fibbing and they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to talk to my husband. I'm like, homegirl, you probably aren't even married, but nice try. But I do want to end with just one thing. I will say that until you truly, truly, truly do believe in yourself, until you fully believe that you can do this and you can make it to whichever rank you want to be at, then that's going to be something that's holding you back. Now, for me personally, I feel like that was like, once I really wrapped my head around it, like, I got this. Like, no one's going to stand in my way. And once I actually truly believed that, like, I faked it till I made it for a while. I really did. Just to like try to pretend like I knew what I was doing. But then once I really wrapped my head around it and I really did believe that I could do anything and reach any rank, that's when I took off. So I feel like that's a really big thing. And that was a huge thing for me in building my business. So let your haters be your motivators. Let anybody else that talks about you, like, show them and show them hard that you know what you're doing and you can achieve anything in this business. And until the day that one of those people comes to you and says, all right, I want to join your team, that's when the light bulb goes off and you're like, hell yeah, I know what I'm doing and everyone's watching me. So you got to believe in yourself.
Absolutely. All right, my friends, does anybody have anything else to say? We'll record this. We'll post this in our group for people who missed it, right? You guys want to post in the group or just individually message it to people?
Can we actually do both? Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
All right,
that's
my
awesome.
friends, thank you guys so much for jumping on, and I'm so excited for week number 2 for our push group. We have some awesome things planned. All right, my friends.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.